In this video, we're going to take you on a walk around Xá Lợi Temple's spiritual path. This is a beautiful temple located in Frederick. They practice Buddhism. This is the inside of the temple, and as you can tell, it's a very unique and special place. A lot of the things that you're going to see outside of this temple might be destroyed by the proposed MPRP project. In these next shots, you're going to see the courtyard of the temple. All of this will remain intact no matter what, but I just wanted to give you a vibe of what this place was like. The woman walking with me is Eileen, and she's a practicing Buddhist who lives in Frederick. Eileen's position at the temple is to interface with American and English-speaking visitors. This entire temple was a really amazing and beautiful place. It was very serene and you could feel the spiritual energy there. From a lot of the rest of the area, it was like stepping into a different world. Being at this temple was a welcome change of pace, making us slow down and see the beauty around us. Listening to Eileen speak about the accepting nature of Buddhism was also a very pleasant experience. In these next clips, you're going to see the spiritual walk at the temple. It is built around an old quarry. If MPRP is allowed through, this entire spiritual path that you're seeing in these next clips will be destroyed. I think one of the hardest things about this situation is that the Buddhists at the temple did not take a stance on this project. From the conversation I had with Eileen, they had already forgiven the people doing this. They do not see good or evil, all they see is the present, the moment, right now. They believe that if you live in sin, you can be healed and find your way to enlightenment. They do not judge. Listening to Eileen talk, I couldn't help but start to question my own anger at the people involved in MPRP. I want to note that I had to cut out a lot of the walk for video length purposes, but the walk is actually very long, and if MPRP is allowed to go through, it will take 1/3 to a half of the land that this Buddhist temple owns. On top of destroying the Buddhist spiritual walk, it will also be destroying a piece of history. What Eileen showed me here that looks just to be a brick hole in the ground is actually a hole that was used to load train cars with limestone that was mined from the quarry. It was stacked on top of this wall structure and then shoveled into this little hole here. What you're seeing here is the old limestone quarry that the limestone was taken out of, and there's a fence there because people have been injured in the past. This forest that the walk is through is definitely old growth and had several types of mushrooms growing in it that we found. What you're seeing here is a pheasant back. This is an edible mushroom, but I thought, just out of kindness to the temple and respect, I would leave it. So that's a good segue, and something that I wanted to touch on is they won't just be taking, a spiritual walk away. They're going to be taking a connection to nature away from these people, and the religion has a deep connection to nature. They have such a deep connection to nature that I was told some ashen remains were spread in the creek on the property. So I wanted to bring your attention to this next statue. Her name is Quan Nam in Vietnamese, and she's one of Buddhism's main deities. She is a Bodhisattva, which means that she is on the road to being a Buddha. Quan Nam holds a willow branch, which represents healing, and a vase turned upside down, signifying how she actively cleanses and purifies. Touching again on the old growth forest part, we found another edible mushroom called an oyster. This woods was very special. I just wanted to remind everyone, now that we're getting to the end of the spiritual path, that everything you saw in the previous clips about the spiritual path will be destroyed if MPRP is allowed to go through. I'd like to bring to everyone's attention that on the 29th of September from 2 to 5 p.m. there will be a mini retreat. We will post the information about this retreat on the last slide of this video. I encourage you all to join. The mini retreat is a free event. What you're seeing in this last clip is a giant statue of Quan Nam, and I'm not a religious person, but at the end of this visit I decided to leave an offering and say a prayer. I couldn't help but think of all the people that I had been interviewing and talking to along this journey, and it really started to hurt me how much they'll all be affected. None of them deserve what's happening if it happens.